Alright, so hi guys, take two on this video because I didn't have all of my ducks in a row and I started rambling and going off topic and I didn't want to do that. So, a sweet taste of cherry coke. Anyway, I had a cold bit at the first recording where I opened the can and I put the can in and then I realized how stupid that was because you don't see my face, you just look at my art. So, yeah. Um, let's just talk about it. Alright, so October has not been kind to me. At all. Just at all. It's actually probably been one of the worst months I've had in 2020, next to what happened in February. And I really wanted to kind of just take a break for a bit and relax. But then I watched Smokey Glow's new video, and she really got me into gear. She did Talk Turtle Tuesday, and she is the very first person to talk about how when she gets depressed and she does too much self care, she ends up being in this cycle that's really, really, really hard to break, where you end up just lazing around and you can't do much with it, and then you get depressed that you're not doing more. So, in a messed up way, you try to thrust yourself into projects and ideas to keep yourself busy, to like fight it and get things done so that way you can stay productive, you know? And that's not the healthiest, but at the same time, neither is lounging around for a month being depressed that you can't get your work done. So, thank you, Smoky Glow, for you making that video and talking about your feelings, and I'm very sorry for your loss. And trust me, as someone who also lost someone earlier this year, I can understand how much it hurts. So that's just something I want to get off with the foot. I want to say what really kicked me out of. I still have it because depression doesn't go away, but that's forcing me to, be here to edit, to do things, to get things done, because if not, I was going to be spiraling a lot harder. And I'm going to explain why, because this month has not been kind to me. So this is not a like poor me, like oh feel sorry for me kind of video. If you guys are longtime watchers, you know I'm literally not that person. But I do like informing people. I like informing my clients, my commissioners, and other people on that, so they understand what I've been going through. I like to be an open book with some things because I especially think when your job is being online and freelance and stuff like that, it's good to let people know that you're a person, because a lot of people sometimes think that artists are just like robots and we just pump out art or we just work all the time, which I mean a lot of us do, but we shouldn't. So we're gonna get started. All right. Now, also keep in mind, everything I talk about is not, because I'm gonna be talking about some dark topics here, such as like depression, anxiety, and stuff like that. I'm not taking that stuff lightly. I'm someone who has it. I've been trying my best to try to find a therapist, which is also really hard during this time. And I have finally made appointments with my doctors to see if I can finally get on like medication for my stuff instead of trying to just fight it my life, which I've always kind of done because that's stupid and there's nothing wrong against taking medication if it helps you survive. So, now that's out of the way. So, for my long-term watchers here, you guys must know that all of September I was working very, very hard, and I was talking constantly, and I was streaming all the time, and I was working nonstop to prepare for a very nice vacation that my husband and I had been planning for months. And it literally fell apart 3 days before the trip, and I ended up having a nervous breakdown from it. Now, I want to read from Healthline, like, I'll have the article linked down below, and like, I'll thing to the Mayo Clinic down below as well, under my social media stuff, so you guys can, like, see what I'm reading from. But, yeah, just so you guys know, like, what I'm reading from and why I'm reading it, because I guess nervous breakdowns, like, aren't a term anymore, but when I was a kid and when I grew up in, like, high school and stuff, they were still called nervous breakdowns, so that's why for me it's what my brain went to first. So I should say that because sometimes people are like, ah, look at this fake person with this fake mental illness, which sadly people do. But there are things where it's like, hey, that's what it was called back in my day, and I always feel old when I say that when I'm not even 30 yet. Anyway, let's get into the definition, right? What is a nervous breakdown? A nervous breakdown is a term used to describe a period of intense mental duress or distress during the period where you're unable to function in your everyday life. This term was once used to refer to a wide variety of mental illnesses, including depression, anxiety, and acute stress disorder. Although a nervous breakdown is no longer considered a medical term, it's still used by many to describe intense symptoms of stress and an inability to cope with life's changes. What others see as a mental breakdown can also be undiagnosed mental illnesses. There isn't one agreed upon definition for what defines a nervous breakdown. It's generally viewed as a period when physical and emotional stress become intolerable and impair one's ability to function. And that was me. I joke about it now because you kind of have to when you go through stuff like that. And so, what are the symptoms of a nervous breakdown? Depressive symptoms such as loss of hope and thoughts of hurting one's self or self-harm. Anxiety with high blood pressure, tense muscles, clammy hands, dizziness, upset stomach, trembling and shaking. Insomnia, hallucinations, extreme mood swings, or unexplained outbursts. Panic attacks, which include chest pain, detachment from reality, extreme fear, and difficulty breathing. Paranoia, such as believing someone is watching you or stalking you. Flashbacks to traumatic events, which suggest undiagnosed PTSD or CPTSD disorder. People experience a nervous breakdown will often withdraw from family, friends, coworkers. Such withdrawals will include avoiding social functions and engagements. I mean, we're all kind of doing that anyway because of, sick, spiky round boy. Eating or sleeping poorly. Yep, I've been doing that. Maintaining poor hygiene. Yep, I was doing that. Calling sick for work for days or not showing up for work at all. Yep, that was me, sadly. And then isolating yourself at home, which, again, we're all sadly doing right now. Now, the causes of a nervous breakdown. Persistent work stress, like pulling 12-hour work days for a vacation that you are working so hard for because you're self-employed, so you can't just take time off. So that way you make sure that everything's okay and good so you can enjoy your vacation for the first time with your husband. To only have literally the last person that you were hoping to help out, and they only needed to be there for 3 days to flake on you and drop all of their problems on you and turn you into a therapist last minute and then not care whatsoever when you're having mental problems. Just like you do. Recent traumatic events such as a death in the family. We did have a death in the family back in February. One of the very first Six Spiky Round Boy cases, actually. It was really hard on us, especially when we found out that it was Six Spiky Round Boy. Serious financial issues. Nope, we're actually pretty okay there for once. Major life changes, divorce. Nope, still me and Cody are still good there. Poor sleep and an inability to relax. Yeah, like working so hard for a vacation so you could relax. And then chronic other mental conditions, which I mean, besides, the anxiety and the depression I don't really have. So, doesn't sound like fun, does it? It wasn't. And it was bad. It was really bad. Our vacation was completely ruined, which sucked because Cody's also been pulling 12-hour work days to, make up the time for his vacation as well. So it's one of those, you work really, really hard, excited for this thing to happen, and then because of somebody else, that thing doesn't happen. And that one person is not sorry or remorseful whatsoever. Yeah. So we learned a lot from that incident. But I wanted to read all of that because that's literally how my month started. Because my vacation was supposed to be at the end of September, which September was already hard because I found out I have tendonitis in 2 of my fingers. So I had to start doing stretches and workouts more and do things. So, I can draw and work. And do your stretches, kids. It's really important. But starting off the month that way really sucked, especially when October is my favorite month of all time. So then after that, when I was starting to get better, Cody came home early from his vacation because he wasn't having fun either. Ain't that great? Yeah, just one person just screwed over both of our times and used up literally all of our vacation time for the year. So I'm bitter. I will fully acknowledge that I'm bitter about that. And I think any sane person who's worked as hard as we should still be. Now, after all that, when things started getting better, as you guys know, I had backup footage, I was working on things, I was getting things squared up. All of a sudden, now, we're getting personal today. So, and people who have because I have to be very careful with what I say or else YouTube's going to ding me. People who are born in the body of females, often, not always, but most of the time, have a special visitor that comes once a month. You guys know what I'm talking about. Hopefully you do. And I say it that way because, trans people can have those things too, and they need to be included. So, when you have that once a month little visitor, I have been a person that's never been regulated. Ever. My entire life. It's why I was on the pill. Surprise, surprise, I'm married and I'm safe because I don't want crotch goblins yet. I know, it's weird. It's weird. I know. But I'm not ready to be a mom yet. Michie's not ready to be Mama Michie yet. Well, earlier in the year, there was an issue with my medication to not have a baby. And my new doctor for that part of the body, kind of a dumbass, and I'm saying it as it is, and would not believe me when I said I was regulated. So I didn't have my little visitor for 5 months. Okay, 5 straight months didn't have my little visitor come by. I took many preggy tests. All of them were negative. I had to then go to the hospital, pay for a preggy test in person because my doctor wouldn't believe me. When my general doctor was like, oh, I'll just try to get you the stuff. Turned out, guess what? No baby. No baby in the oven. So, end up and got on the new medication. My body reacted horribly to it, which does happen. Like, not everyone can take every kind of baby be gone medication. Oh, baby be gone sounds bad. Preventing baby medication from coming along. And I had one of the worst visitors I'd had in my life. It was so bad I nearly went to the hospital. I talked about it on Twitter and stuff and to my patrons and other people. It was so bad I literally could not get out of bed for nearly 3 straight days. I could literally just go to the bathroom and then go back to bed. I was in so much pain. And I had not had pain like that in so long. And so my brain was like, well, maybe it's because you haven't had it in 5 months, so it's just like all built up and gross. Or maybe it's the medication. You don't know. I'm leaning more towards it was the medication. So that was a week taken out of my month too, which I wasn't planning on. So that sucked and put a wrench into things. And then, why did I put that there? Oh yeah. I also wanted to vlog this month, and I wanted to do the Drawtober challenge this month. As you guys know, I got the first video up, and I live streamed the second one, and I was getting ready to edit it and do other things, and then my webcam started being messed up, and then because my vlog camera's so old, I have to, like, get this, like, transfer. I have to have a whole different port I plug into my computer to plug my camera into to get the stuff off of the camera. It's a big mess, and it's a lot of deal, but I couldn't find it. And I was like, great. I don't have the money because of all the lost time I've got. I'm on a very tight budget now this month. I don't have the time to do all this and buy another thing and then wait for the thing to come in. So I won't do vlogs. That's great. I'll just wait until like November, December or something. Because I do want to do vlogs again. But then I'm thinking, man, it's a good thing I didn't do vlogs because this month was so bad. I was looking back on some of the clips on my camera and I was stressed out and upset and angry and like, it wasn't a good time. It was not a good time. And I'm glad that I'm not posting those up. I know some people are like, but we want to see it's not fun, okay? Like, when people are stressing out and nervous and angry, it isn't fun. And there's a lot of clips that I just didn't vlog on because they were just terrible, terrible days. So, that sucked. And I'm sure anyone else who understands what it's like, when your technology doesn't work and technology is your job, it is one of the most frustrating things you can deal with. Now, again, I don't have the money to just go buy a new vlog camera because I don't make money from my vlogs. It was going to be something extra to do here for fun. My webcam issue thing, I'm messing with it. I'm doing things that my husband's doing with it, and OBS is just being rude. I've uninstalled it and reinstalled it. Then I had an amazing patron buy me Dead Space because I was talking about how I wanted to stream Dead Space to people on Twitch, like for a spoopy game to have fun. And now for some reason, and I've looked into it, I know what I have to do, but it's a lot of work, which is what I'm bringing up again. But for some reason, OBS won't reach my normal monitor, so I can't play games on my normal monitor like I want to. My HD gaming monitor from my gaming laptop that I use for work. Yeah, won't register it. And when I looked up how to fix it, they're like, uninstall, reinstall OBS. Did that. Didn't work. Oh yeah, mess with the code in OBS and in the game, and then it should work. And I'm terrible when it comes to messing with code, so my husband's gonna have to work on that. But he also works a lot, so I'm sure when he comes home after a long day of work, the last thing he's gonna want to do is mess with code for a video game that, like, is fun, and I want to do it, and I still want to do it. But it's like, I have work I have to do. I got art I gotta do. Rather work on that. My tablet one works, my normal setup works, my iPad works, whatever. So, Yeah, that sucks. And then, on top of all of that, guess what? That monthly visitor in the same month came back. Oh, I know. It's same pain, everything too. And I was like, great. So I called my doctor. Doctor was like, get off the medication. We'll figure something out next month. And I'm just like, well, isn't that lovely? Just lovely. And then, the universal gods. So our anniversary, my husband and I's, our wedding, our 2-year wedding anniversary, it's been 2 years already, was on the 22nd. That was in the middle of the week. And we didn't have money to do anything, really, that much. And so Cody came up to me and was like, hey, for our anniversary, do you want to, like, go camping like we did last year? Which, honestly, I'm probably going to make a story time on that because it's a disaster, but it's actually really, really funny. It's one of those, like, stories that's like, it's a disaster, but I'm glad it happened kind of thing. Not like this month. I wish this month didn't happen at all. So we were going camping, getting everything set up, squared to go. And now keep in mind, the camping trip was fun. But the morning of, right when we were packing up the truck to go, my ankle just popped and rolled. And I was like, perfect. And my foot started to swell up recently, so I had to go to the doctor for that too. So my doctor's appointment's actually in a couple days. So hopefully the swelling goes down. I can walk on it now. But yeah, got swelling in my foot now. That's not great. And I'm sitting here like, well, October is actually literally trying to kill me. So yeah, it's not a good month. I know Samhain is still coming up and stuff like that, and hopefully it can come around. And yeah, I had a great time camping. I did. I genuinely had a great time camping. But it's not been great. Please, this video is now an open letter for rants. If this month has been bad for you too, let it down below. Comment it, let out all your anger and your stress. Let's just vent together if you had a terrible, terrible month. Now keep in mind, in that same light, if this is like the best month you've had in 2020, do not feel bad. I always hate when people do that. When someone's like, well, I had a really good time and I feel bad for having a good time. No, you have a good time, okay? We want to have a good time. So, if you had a good time, don't feel bad. Don't feel sorry. Again, this also isn't a sorry for me thing. It's just been like a, wow, the universe just didn't want me to have fun this month. So, yeah, hopefully I'll get a lot of stuff done in November and December for my plans. Fingers crossed. Here's hoping. I love you guys. Thank you to my amazing patrons. Because of YouTube's stupid unsubbing, resubbing problem right now, please check and make sure you're subscribed. Please comment, like, and share the video if you care, or my other videos and my content, because YouTube is now, like, really mass unsubscribing people who just watch. It's happened to me too, because there were a couple of videos I'd watch from people that I wouldn't really have an opinion on. I just liked watching. And then I would see them I recommended, and I was suddenly unsubscribed because I didn't do the stupid like and comment BS. And they're not changing their platform whatsoever, no matter what we say. So please, help that bot. Help me. Help make sure your videos go out to you. And I will be seeing you guys, for sure, on Halloween, because I do have a special video planned that is almost done. So that will be up on Halloween. I love you guys so, so much. And I'll see you next time.